This video is going to talk about the measures of center as well as the 5-number summary. So what are the 3 measures of center? The first measure of center is the most common one that you guys have probably used a lot, which is the mean, also called the average. And sometimes you'll see this denoted as X with a bar over the top. That also means mean. The median, which is just the middle number, the only thing you have to be careful of here is that you make sure that you order the numbers from least to greatest, and then the most repeated number is called the mode. Example 1, determine the measures of central tendency if your 6 test scores are as follows. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is order these numbers, and I always, as I order them, cross them out. So I know that 68 is the smallest. I'm going to cross that out. That way I don't accidentally repeat a number. So 68, or even forget a number in that case. Then the next number would be 76. 85, 87, 91, and 97. Now we can always count to make sure we didn't forget a number. They said there were 6 test scores, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so this right here, again, X bar just means the mean. So that means that I'm going to take each of these numbers and I'm going to add them all together. So 68 plus 76 plus 85 plus 87 plus 91 plus 97, which is 504. And then to find the mean, you divide by how many numbers there are. So we had 6 numbers total. So 504 divided by 6 is 84. So my mean for this problem would be 84%. Okay, the median is the middle number, and again, when they're ordered, these are already ordered now from least to greatest. So the middle would be right here in between 85 and 87. So in the event that you have 2 numbers in the middle like this, to find the middle of 85 and 87, you can just find the mean of those 2 numbers. So we can do 85 plus 87, and then divide that by 2, and that will give me the median. So 85 plus 87 divided by 2 is 86. So 86% would be my median. And then the mode we can just look for. The mode is the number that repeats the most. And in this case, none of our numbers repeat, so I just am going to have no mode, so I can say none. All right, example 2, determine the measures of center for the number of pets of 9 different people. All right, so first, again, we need to order these. So it looks like 2 is the smallest number. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 2s. So 2, 2, 2, 2, then a 3, and then 3 4s, and a 13. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. So I had 9 people. All right, so again, to find the mean, we add all of these numbers up. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, so on. And then we divide by how many numbers we have. So if I add all these together, I get 36. And then divided by 9 total, and my mean would be 4 pets. Okay, then the median is the middle number. So my middle number, if I go backwards in, would be 3. So I have a number perfectly in the middle. So my median is 3. And then for the mode, we have to be careful on this one because we have 2 numbers that repeat. We have 3 4s and we have 4 2s. The mode is going to be the one that happens the most often. So since 2 repeats the most often, 2 would be my mode. All right, so next we're going to learn the 5-number summary, which is 5 different numbers that we find in our data set that break our data into quarters. So the first of the 5 numbers is the minimum, which is just the lowest number of the data set. Then the next is the lower quartile, which is going to be the middle of the lower half of the data. So when I cut my data in half and I look at the lower half, I'm basically going to find the median of that half, and that's my lower quartile. And this is also denoted as Q1. So if you see Q1, that means the lower quartile. The median is the middle number, so this is the same number that we found on the previous slide. The upper quartile is the middle of the upper half of the data. So again, I'm finding the median essentially of the top half of the data, and this is denoted as Q3. All right, and then the maximum is the highest number. All right, so we're going to find the 5-number summary for this set of data here. There's 6 test scores, and these are the same test scores that we looked at earlier. So first we're going to put them in order. So we started with 68, then 76, 85, 87, 91, and then 97. All right, so the minimum is just going to be the lowest number in the data set. So the lowest score was a 68. And same way, we can kind of skip over here to the maximum. The maximum is the highest number, so that would be 97. All right, next we need to find the median in order to get my upper and lower quartiles, because I have to cut the data in half. So again, we did this earlier. If I've got 6 numbers, the middle would be here. So that would be at 86, because 86 is directly in between 85 and 87. Remember, if you can't figure out what the median is, if you have 2 numbers, you can do 85 plus 87 and then divide it by 2, and that will also give you 86. Okay? All right, so now to find the lower quartile, I need to look only at the lower half of my data set. So I have 3 numbers in the lower half of my data set. Where is the middle of those 3 numbers? It would be 76. So that is my lower quartile. And then in the same way, for the upper quartile, I'm only going to look at the upper half of the data, which is 87, 91, and 97. So the middle of that half of the data is 91. So that is my upper quartile. So example 2, we're going to do the same thing. So let's order these numbers first. I had 4 2s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, then 3 4s, and then 13. All right, so minimum, smallest number, that would be 2. Maximum, highest number, that would be 13. Okay, median, again, we found that earlier, but it'd be the middle of this data set, and so the very middle would be 3. All right, so now when we're looking at the lower half of the data to figure out what Q1 is, if you have a perfect median, people always want to either include the 3 with the lower half or include the 3 with the upper half. But the 2 halves have to be even. So this is going to be my lower half of the data, and I'm only going to look at those 4 numbers to find Q1. So the middle of those 4 numbers would be right here, which is in between 2 and 2. Well, what's in between 2 and 2? Just 2. Again, you could also, if you have 2 numbers, you can add them together. So 2 plus 2, which would be 4, and then divided by 2 is 2. All right, then the upper half of the data would be 4, 4, 4, and 13. So the middle of that half of the data would be here, in between 4 and 4. So that would just be 4.